Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. It's a common saying which you may have read many times in books or novels. But what about the beauty which beholds the eyes looking at it? Humans have a tendency to look, create, and preserve beautiful things. So, the creation of gardens is one example of this, as we created them to look at and preserve the beauty of our nature. Today we are going to look at some beautiful gardens which looks beautiful and divine to all the eyes in this world. Number 10. Bodet Gardens, Colwyn Bay, UK. Covering some 80 acres of Welsh hillside, this garden and National Trust property consists of rose gardens, lily ponds, and more. However, its most photographed section is arguably the Laburnum Arch. Over a century old, the arch seems ready-made for the perfect Instagram shot, with a sunshine yellow sky overhead and spots of pink and green peppering the sides. Number 9. Nong Nuch Tropical Botanical Garden, Pattaya City, Thailand. Rich gold and lush green dominate this tropical Thai botanical garden. Stretching over 500 acres, the garden was originally purchased with the intention of developing the land as a fruit plantation. Thankfully, the owners decided to use the land to create a wildlife conservation project instead, and the garden opened to the public in 1980. Number 8. Kew Gardens, London, UK. Kew Gardens in London has one of the most diverse botanical and mycological fungus collections in the world, so it's no surprise that it's among London's top tourist attractions. The gardens even have their own police force to help protect the site, and the hundreds of thousands of plants that are on show. Number 7. Monet's Garden, Giverny, France. Claude Monet's iconic Japanese-inspired water garden sits beside his Giverny home that he bought in 1883. He didn't like the organization of constrained gardens, instead arranging flowers according to color and letting them grow freely. Around 500,000 visitors each year soak up the views of the serene pond, mesmerizing lilies, and wisteria-covered bridge, which featured in approximately 250 oil paintings by the French Impressionist. Number 6. New York Botanical Garden, USA. Located in Bronx Park, the New York Botanical Garden was established 130 years ago and is home to over 1 million living plants. The gardens feature 50 acres of old-growth woodlands, a wetland trail, an azalea garden, and the internationally renowned Peggy Rockefeller Rose Garden, home to more than 650 different varieties of roses. Number 5. Kuchenhof Gardens, Lis, Netherlands. Said to be the most beautiful spring garden in the world, Kuchenhof is the world's largest and most famous flower park, boasting more than 7 million flowers in bloom between April and May, including tulips, hyacinths, daffodils, orchids, roses, carnations, irises, and lilies. At that time, the garden is steeped in perfume and is a riot of colors, from punchy pinks to glorious greens, layered with yellows, blues, and reds on top. Number 4. Gardens of Versailles, France. These exquisite gardens are situated west of the famous Palace of Versailles, which dates back to the time of Louis XIV. They feature a mosaic of meticulous lawns, sculptures, and fountains, around 800 hectares in total. The color palette is one of earthy sand tones from the pathways and buildings, combined with a variety of greens, from the deep shades of the trees to the lighter grass, topped off with the eucalyptus gray-green of the water in the middle. Number 3. Shinjukugan National Garden, Tokyo, Japan. One of Tokyo's largest and most popular parks, Shinjukugan turns a subtle shade of candy floss pink as cherry blossoms envelop the landscape in spring. From late March to early April, more than 400 Someyoshino trees explode in a celebration of the beloved pink hue. The park dates back to 1603 and features a traditional Japanese landscape garden, a formal French garden, and an English landscape garden. Number 2. Majoral Garden, Marrakesh, Morocco. The renowned cobalt blue of Le Jardin Majoral takes center stage in this garden with a psychedelic desert design. French fashion designer Yves Saint Laurent was entranced by its beauty. He bought the site and lived there from 1980. The garden is Morocco's most visited tourist attraction, pulling in 900,000 visitors in a normal year. Number 1. Gardens by the Bay, Singapore. The most hashtagged garden on the planet is right here in our backyard. Gardens by the Bay in Singapore has seen well over 50 million visitors since its creation, Spanning 250 acres, it consists of waterfront gardens, the iconic super trees, the largest glass greenhouse in the world, and until Jewel Changi Airport came along, the world's largest indoor waterfall. Parents and kids also love the water play and other fun features of the Far East Organization Children's Garden.
They'll be calling me royalty.